Okay, welcome to Perl Quiz 5. If you've been to the previous Perl quizzes, some of the questions get recycled, some get changed a little bit. So if you think you knew it before, you might not know the answer now. Anyway, this is just a fun thing to help us learn about Perl. I always have some sort of goofy background on the title slide here. This is about the exploding whale park in Florence, Oregon, where the Roads and Parks Department blew up a rotting whale on the beach to try to get rid of it, and it basically spread rotting whale all over the place. A big disaster. That was 1970. They've learned not to do that anymore. So they made a park about it and have a lot of fun about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the purpose of this quiz is to learn, to measure your knowledge, and to have some fun. Now, I spread dum-dums and Smarties on the table, so you're welcome to those. And Smarties are not available in Canada. You can't buy them here. They have to be imported. So I actually brought those with me.
No, Smarties are available here, but they are M&Ms in the States.
Yes, Smarties are a different thing in Canada. And I used to buy Smarties, these type of Smarties that said made in Canada, but they were these type, but they're not here anymore. So yeah, they're a different type of thing now. Okay. Those rockets? Okay. Well, they're here now because they're Smarties. We want you to be smart, not dumb. So some questions will be simple, some will be tricky, some will be something that you will never run into, and unless stated otherwise, each question will have the context of the latest version of Perl, which in most cases is not an issue. All questions will have something to do with Perl. Types will vary. There may be some multiple choice, or there will be some open or fill-in type questions. Many of these questions are not important to your job. So even if you've programmed in Perl for 30 years, there's some of these things that you will never run into. So if you don't know the answer for some of these, don't worry about it. Now, when you answer a question, whether you get it right or wrong, you get to come up and pick a prize. So I'm hoping to get rid of all the prizes, or at least all the prizes I don't want to take home with me. So you can record your answers on a piece of paper or a phone, a tablet, laptop, or whatever, or if you don't care to record them all, don't bother. And I ask you to please don't shout out the answers or talk with your neighbor. Don't whisper to your neighbor until we reveal what the answer is. So the procedure is we will present the question. We'll pick somebody in the crowd to give an answer, and then we will reveal the answer once they give their answer. We'll tell them whether they're right or wrong. We have a buzzer and a bell here. Right answer, wrong answer. And then in some cases, there's nothing to talk about, but a lot of cases, there's something to talk about with the answer. It'll be interesting or helpful. And then the person gets to come up and pick a prize. I used to throw prizes to the audience. That doesn't go so well anymore. So let's go ahead and get ready. Grab some paper or something to write this down if you want. And let's begin. So Perl 5.3.8 was released last week. And finally, the smart match operator, the two tildes, introduced in 5.10 was improved, removed, fixed, declared a failure, or there's no such operator. Okay, think about this. Okay, we're going to start with the front row, right here.
I'm going to say
removed. The correct answer is D. It was declared a failure. It will be removed in 5.42. Give some people some time to get rid of it. We've been warning people for at least 10 years to not use it. So, yeah, they're being very generous, waiting until 5.42. Okay, come on up and pick a prize. I might need to explain what some of the things are because some things aren't obvious. So this here, these are reusable straws. They're silicone straws. Those purple things are bunchies for your ponytail. Journal books. These things here are just clamshell cases. This is an electronic writing tablet. You can draw on it and then you push a button and it goes away. Of course, those are movies. This is a power set here. So you have USB, also with the battery there. Earbuds. These are Bluetooth speakers. Of course, I've got two of these t-shirts. One's right there. A tote bag, luggage tags, and a somewhat universal USB plug-in guy. Those are pretty cool. They look fragile to me. I hope they didn't break on the way. Okay, next one. Question 1. So we set up a string and we increment that and then we print it. What is printed? Okay, over here, front row. E, BVAA. That is correct. You can increment letters as well as numbers. So A plus 1 is B, Y plus 1 is Z, and then Z wraps around to double A. So buzz becomes BVAA. You can disagree, but that's what it does. Ooh. And why are you you're putting a new line at the end of the string? You're saying you're putting a new line at the end of the string, or you're printing with a new line? If you will notice on all the answers, they don't have a new line after them. So minor thing. Okay, come on up and pick your answer, your prize. Oh yeah, that will not break. Very good, wise choice. Okay, number 2. Similar, we have X equals this time BVAA, and we do an auto decrement, and we print it. What is printed? Okay, second row here.
So I don't know if it's theory or something else. I don't know.
You don't know? So you pick one. You might get lucky.
Always people are telling me that I should respect, C.
You think C. Final answer? I'm just kidding. That's correct. Increment works on characters, decrement does not. And so what it does is it sees that string having a numeric value of 0, so it subtracts 1 from that, gives you the -1. Come on up and pick your prize. Even if you got the wrong answer, you get to pick a fabulous prize. By the way, the blue thing there is the Lord of the Rings Return of the King extended set. Those are water bottles. Very nice water bottles. And you don't have to put water in them. You can put sand or alcohol or bees. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Water bottle, but this is good.
Okay. That's a luggage tag. That's a Bluetooth speaker.
Okay. Water bottle.
Okay. Okay, number 3. We have buzz. We add 1 to it with a plus equals, and then we print it. What do we get? Okay, next one, right here. C. Correct. Just like the decrement, it doesn't see it as a numeric value, so it adds 1 to it. That is a power kit. Has a you have to flip open the front. The front. There you go. That's a USB power brick sort of thing. That's just a connector cable. And there's some, I think those are Bluetooth earbuds. Those are Bluetooth speakers. They're a little different. I should have popped one out so you can see what it's like. I didn't. The cases I did. I didn't do that one.
Wood grain.
It's a wood grain, simulated fake wood grain.
Does it have battery?
It better. It's a Bluetooth thing, yeah. So that one does not have a cable in it. You have to have a USB Type-C to charge it up.
But it is Bluetooth?
It is Bluetooth. Okay, you can. While you're thinking about that, we're going to go to the next one. Number 4. When I write a smiley face, it's a colon followed by a hyphen followed by a right parentheses. Consider the 3 scalar variables that match this: $colon, $hyphen, and $right parent. Which one is likely to vary from user to user on the same system? Okay, right here. You're up. $paren. You are correct. It contains a list of group IDs and essentially the effective group ID. Yeah. So $colon is the other 2 are basically formatting system variables. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next question. You have any question about any of this? Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, next question. Number 5. In a Perl regular expression, how do you create a grouping without creating a back reference? On the end of the second row over here. Colon question mark. That is correct. And in 522, you could you could put an N as a modifier on your match to turn off group it, or to turn that off for all the tagged items or captures in that regular expression. Okay, let's go with number 6. Okay, there's no difference between the for each and for operators, but those aren't answers to this question. There's 2 Perl operators that manipulate strings that are 100% synonymous. What are they? Okay, third row, right here. It's a little tricky because one of them you rarely see used. It's kind of an artifact. What's that? The one you commonly see is TR. Yep, and then there's Y. Yep. Okay, come on up. Sometimes you need to have them a little vague. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Question 7. The Perl source code contains quotes from what fantasy author? That is correct. And here's an example from Malik.c. There's nothing interesting.
What's the closest thing?
Seems like it, huh? Yeah, I think those are Bluetooth earbuds, but I haven't tried them. That's just a wrap of cable. And it looks like it's Apple.
Lightning only?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a multi-type.
I don't think there's another type in there. Is there a different one in there? You can pull the whole cable off. It comes out. Yeah, it is awkward. Oh, that one has you think so? There you go. Oh, it'll do
So
both.
it's a micro USB in there.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay. Okay, we're going to have a convention up here at the table, I guess. Okay, let's go to the next question. Number 8. Perl 1.0 was released in what year? End of the third table over here. Yeah, right. Yeah, you in the brown shirt. You don't know? 88. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Come on up. I didn't record the month. I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead to the next one. Number 9. What does the following Perl one-liner do? So this is Perl with a -00 PE0 my file. We're doing something with my file. Okay, 4th row. You guys seeing the pattern here? Over here. Sorry. So what it does, it removes all consecutive blank lines. Now, I wouldn't bother with this. I would go into an editor and just have a macro. So the -0 option basically tells it what the record separator is in the file. And when you say 0, it essentially turns it off. So it's going to slurp paragraphs in and only reads text between 2 new lines. All the other new lines get ignored. Kind of a quirky little thing. Okay, come on up and pick a prize.
We have a correction back here.
On?
Perl, yes. December 18th, 1987.
See, I thought I remembered December 87.
It was late 87. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Perl 10. This is going to get a little complicated. So we have a script called onearg.pl. It reads its arguments in, and then it uses an exclusive OR that's chained to tell whether it has one argument or multiple arguments. So when we call that onearg.pl and pass it just as 0, what gets printed? Okay, right here on the fourth row, the woman right there. Got one arg. Too many args. What's going to happen is it's going to put that 0 is going to be in $x sub 0. So it does an exclusive OR with that, which with the undef and then another undef. So remember, an exclusive OR is one can be true but not both for an exclusive OR to be true. So a 0 is a false value. So it's going to drop to too many args. So it's actually a bug. It was not written correctly. Okay, come on up. Yeah, they're all the same. It's just a connector.
Many weird types, looks like.
Yeah, so you can connect.
They all connect to each other in certain ways.
I think they're all connected internally. I have not tested them. All the t-shirts are extra large. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is a variation on number 10. So we have the same thing, the same script, but this time we pass it a 0 and a 1. Okay, fourth row on the right side of the aisle. What is the answer? Got one arg. Correct. We're using a simple script here. This is actually a variation on some production code that I saw that was, so what they're trying to do in the production code is they're trying to make sure you only gave it one of the arguments, not more than one. Yeah. So they're just tote bags. Okay, cool. Okay, next one. Another variation. This time we're just saying one arg.pl and pass it A. Okay, fourth row on the corner there. Got one arg. Correct. Okay, let's go to the next one. Another variation. Here we're giving it ABC. Okay, last row back here in the middle. Too many args. This is the bug. One of the many bugs with this. And the reason why this happens is because you cannot change exclusive ORs. Because what will happen is the leftmost exclusive OR will have 2 true values, so it'll be false, and then it compares it with the right-hand value, the next one, which is also true, so you have a true and a false, so it must be true. And no, we wanted only one of them to be true. So. Okay, remember there's 5 values of Boolean false in Scalian Boolean context in Perl. everything else is considered true. So an undef is considered false. An empty string is considered false. A string that contains the only character, a zero, an actual numeric zero, and a floating point 0.0. Everything else is considered true. So A, B, and C are both considered true as strings.
Right, but UX or
It's not a bitwise operator. Yeah, there's a bitwise exclusive OR, but this isn't it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good questions. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 14. Larry Wall, the author of Perl, wrote what other programs? Or program. So we're right over here. No clue is not an answer. It's A through H. You got to pick one or two or three or all. Didn't he? He actually wanted to, I think he actually wanted to name Perl Gloria, but he thought that was a bad idea. Yeah, that was taken. He also considered his wife's name. Kind of like Steve Jobs used Lisa for a computer, an old girlfriend's name. Kind of stuff like that tends to be a bad idea. But anyway, so your final answer is F, lint. The answer is C and D. He wrote patch and RN, which is the read news utility. Okay, very cool. Come on up and pick a prize. Yes, patch is still used. RN is not used so much. If you're using a news reader, usually you're using TRN, a threaded news reader, instead. But RN was the original. Yeah. Now it's a Usenet is now full of. Last time I was there a couple days ago, it was full of ads for illegal drugs. A lot of them. It was awful. Yep. Okay. Next question. Number 15. Consider the following code. So we use QR to set up a regular expression string. Put it in RE. We go ahead and print RE. And so this is what actually prints. So what does the U mean in there? Because we didn't put a U there. What does that U mean? In the back, Jeffrey. Sorry. U means underline. Sorry. It means Unicode. As if you'd put a U at the end. Now, there are some modifiers to regular expressions that we usually don't use very often, and some are really for internal use or obsolete. A, L, and D, and U. And really, A is probably the most useful one that we would have. By default, you get U for Unicode, defining essentially what the string type is.
So the reason that I knew is because it was for efficiency. Because X, Y, Z are, if you put in a JKI, I don't believe it would fit. Because so X, Y, Z match the same in
Okay.
because they're invariant under TPRC, and they have no other matches. And so it's put in there, so the code doesn't have to worry if it's in the code. It treats it. Otherwise, so that saves the test. You're correct. It is. And so, I mean, I was the one who added that, and I added it long after we knew it existed. And I never considered this. But the JKI, so K has a match house. The reason is the slash I. X, Y, and Z have no matches outside of ASCII.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas K matches Kelvin. Kelvin slash.
Oh, yeah, it does.
U plus 212 something. So the default, and if you had to use black dot, whatever it is, 12, 14 on top of it, then all regular expressions are considered Unicode semantics. But since you don't have that there, all regular expressions are considered to have the original semantics.
Okay.
And so the U matches, so the U gets put in here because it doesn't matter and it saves time. But if it was JKI, it would matter because it should.
So you're saying with JKI, then you would have an A in there?
I think it is in there, yeah.
So I probably described when I run at 536 I don't think you do either string. Yeah, 536 is putting in there for JKI.
Okay.
No, I'm not putting it for either.
See, here I'm the guy who wrote.
Okay. So all of us are now learning somewhat useless information, but okay, let's go ahead and move on. The next question, 16, which is faster, local or my? Okay, let's go to the very back, the camera guy. Local. Sorry. Come up and get a prize. I don't recall the testing that I did to see which was whether it was for all types of variables or only scalars. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next question. Number 17. What is this called? And we've got the guy in the back who's raising his hand. A C. So that's the Schwartzian transform, is what you're saying. That is correct. Named after Randall Schwartz. He used to come to these conferences. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, he's a little preoccupied.
Yeah, I used to actually work with.
Get him here next year. I do too.
I used to work with him, and I went bowling with him. I can tell you, I'm a terrible bowler, and I'm better than him at bowling. That was when we both worked for ZipRecruiter. Anyway, interesting company. Anyway.
Yeah, I just got laid off from there, so I know.
Oh, did you? Oh, I am sorry.
It's all right.
Can you describe the Schwartzian transform?
Yeah, so what's happening here, I have a whole nother presentation that actually covers this, so I can't throw that in here. But basically, anytime you're doing a map sort map, and you're essentially sorting, but what you're doing is you're sorting and essentially saving the sort key, and then by creating the map. Otherwise, you have to do a comparison over and over and over again and regenerate that comparison. So in this case, we're sorting the age of the files with the -m function. And so what we're doing is we create, with the very bottom map there, we're creating an additional field in the list that contains that information, the -m, the date of the file. And then we go ahead and then we sort. We take that result and we sort by that information we just created. That's would be the A1 and B1. And we're sorting them numerically. And then the last map is stripping off that extra information that we threw in. There's a bunch of other types of optimized sort techniques like this. This is one that is probably the most obvious that you'll see with a map sort map. He didn't name it. Who was it that named it? Was it Christensen? Oh, okay. It's actually very clever, but it does look a little obtuse. So that's true. That's true. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next one, number 18. What Perl command option tells you where Perl modules are installed? We're back to the front row. B. You didn't say V, you said B.
I said B.
Oh, okay. So capital V. That is correct.
I learn a new command line option every day.
There you go. Okay, next one, number 19. What is the name of that single character, $@ %, that is in front of Perl variables? There's a term for that. What is that term? Right here, middle of the first row. In the red shirt. Yeah, you. Sigil. That's correct. Okay, come up and you get to pick a prize. Those are reusable straws. They're silicone tubes, basically. Okay, move to the next one, number 20. Which of the following is not true? Okay, over here in the front row. Which one? Oh, okay. I can't give you any hints till we reveal the answer. This brings up an issue that new people that are new to Perl have to learn. And so like dog and cat, yeah, I assume those are quoted. We're assuming auto quoting here. If I put an ampersand in front of it, then you wouldn't know. Okay, time's up. What's your answer? C, apples equals oranges. D. So the thing with Perl is the operators are based on a type. So you have numeric operators and you have string operators. And so an operator always gets the type that it expects. So if it has arguments that are not of the right type, Perl will automatically convert them to the right type. Strings are converted in so that if it sees a number at the beginning of the string, that becomes the numeric value of the string. If there's no number at the start of a string, it has a numeric value of 0. Yeah, so apples and oranges are both 0. 14 is greater than 5, and 15 is string-wise not greater than 7. So it's the ones comparing with the 7 is what it's really doing, not the 15 with the 7. Okay. Did you come up and pick a prize? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, next one. 21. How would you create an array of arrays? Okay, second row, right up here. What's your answer?
Are we making a distinction between a list and an array? Or are we defer?
I am not going to qualify this at all. You have to guess. Some of these are tricky, some are not.
You can make an array, but if you're making the qualification of list and array distinct, but it's designing that, I'm sorry. Oh. That actually is not the array. Oh, okay. So
B is your answer? You actually can't make an array of arrays. Instead, you make an array of array references. Like I said, it's tricky. Okay, come on up and pick your prize. I don't know if I have stuff left over at the end, I got to get rid of it. So
And then ask a question like that.
that's a trick question. What the hell is going on with
that's a straw, a reusable straw. Okay. So B is actually the one that's syntactically correct, but it's doing an array of anonymous array references. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Number 22. Larry Wall won the International Obfuscated C Code Contest how many times? That actually is a really good guess, but it's wrong. You won it twice. 86 and 87. Yeah, come up and get a prize. Okay, number 23. I have a string foo, and I want to add it on the reverse, in reverse to the back of my array X. So X will be essentially X with oof at the end. How should I do this? Okay, you know who's next. You're in the middle. So B? B is in beta? Okay. Correct answer is A. You have to put it in scalar. Otherwise, reverse is reversing a list, not the string. Yeah. Come up and get a prize. Good. Then you're wasting cycles. Yeah. What do we care? It's Perl. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You'd have to be $X. Yeah. Okay, next one. 24. How would you use a module without doing an import? I'm sorry? Which one? C. Correct. An empty list will skip the import. And this is actually useful because what it does, it reduces your memory footprint because it doesn't load everything. So I know some places actually have a standard for that. Okay, come up and pick your prize. So what this means is when you use a function in foo, you have to use foo, : and then the name. So you have to essentially use the full path every time you call it. Yeah. Okay, next one. What's number 25? What scalar contains the name of your operating system? Okay, you're right here. C. That is correct. Okay, come up and pick a prize. Okay, next one, 26. So what is the variable or the symbol that is the only single character variable in Perl? And it's a special file handle. Okay, right here, guy with the baseball cap. C. C is correct. Okay, come on up. Okay, next one, 27. So this expression here, I'd probably slap whoever wrote this, but sometimes you see stuff like this. After execution, what are X and Y, assuming they were undefined beforehand? Devin. So you're saying X is 7 and Y is undefined? Very good. That's a tough one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, next one, number 28. How do you start up the Perl debugger without a file to debug? You may want to do this so you can play with Perl. I do this all the time. Okay, end of the row. Yes. Perl minus D. That's so close. The correct answer is minus D, E, and then you give it something. You just need to give it anything. It doesn't really matter. You give it a 0. I usually just give it a 0. Okay. Hey, there you go. Come on up. Okay, next one. We're running out of time here. 29. I'm using the Perl debugger and my doesn't work. And why doesn't it work? Okay, blue shirt right up here. Then let me give you a clue. Every time you type something in at the command line prompt in the debugger, it runs an eval on it. Okay. So in an eval, it's essentially new scope. So whenever you do a my inside of an eval, or in any scope, when you fall out of that scope, it goes away. So your my variables are going to always disappear. Come on up and get a prize. Okay. Yes, and in fact, that's what I do, is I'll do a whole bunch of lines of commands on one line in the debugger so it doesn't fall out of scope. To what? Yeah. Okay, we are all done. Okay, put down your pencil, remove your helmet, and tally your score. If we grade like regular school, then 90% is genius, and so on. But if you grade like my physics class in high school, 50% is an A. We were actually using, I think, college text, and that's why they were grading that way. So here's some parts of the quiz came from various things that no longer exist, but there was a 1998 Perl quiz show. Anybody was there? And that is it. Thank you. If anybody wants another prize just for showing up, come on up.